Welcome to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales, where sales and marketing collide to drive real business results. In today's episode, we dive into the critical question: is your marketing actually working? Special guest Amy Connor from CMO OnLoan reveals why too many businesses focus on vanity metrics instead of the numbers that truly impact revenue. You'll learn how to align sales and marketing, track the right KPIs, and ensure your marketing spend delivers measurable results. Stay tuned, because if you're not measuring the right things, you might be wasting your time and money.
We're back. Hope you're having an excellent Tuesday. We're here with Amy Connor with CMO OnLoan, and we left off last week's episode discussing how to measure marketing effectiveness. So if you don't have your marketing peer in your organization beside you, go grab them, text them if you're not driving, and tell them to hop on, listen to this episode, because this episode is all about measuring your marketing effectiveness. Amy, so glad to have you back. Welcome to Two Guys Talking Sales.
Thank you so much.
So let's tee this up. We talked a lot last week about engaging you and learning about how to be effective in our roles, how to engage our customers as a means to solve the question of how do I get more sales? But today, let's tee this up for you. You have some thoughts about being effective in measuring your marketing efforts. And you're a fractional CMO and your team leads these kind of services for mid-market companies. Let's dig into that from your vantage point. What makes the effectiveness wheel start turning?
The first effectiveness wheel is to acknowledge what you measure matters. A lot of people don't measure anything about marketing. They have no idea even how many LinkedIn followers they have at the very highest level, to how many people are coming to their website, and then how many actually take an action. You have to measure not a ton of things, actually. Some of the huge dashboards can be overwhelming, but getting really specific. So that's the first thing. Acknowledge you need to measure something. You need, in B2B especially, you need to measure the full funnel. So marketing and sales cannot be separate. Marketing and sales are part of the customer's journey in a united way. The customer doesn't see, oh, marketing did that and sales did that. They see the company. I had this experience with this company, and how are we working together to make that experience amazing? So in order to measure effectiveness, I need to know how many leads, what's your close rate, how big are the project? I need to understand that, especially if we have a program, a campaign, or an ongoing program to help bring in more leads. Making sure you're measuring both sales, marketing, whatever is in that funnel, based on all of these have to be based on what is the business goal. Many times we do have clients who are measuring number of leads. They're measuring how many impressions they get in Google ads and clicks and all of that sort of thing. But none of that actually goes back to how you get business. Because I could go out and communicate a lot. If it doesn't tie to business results, it doesn't actually matter. And that's what leadership wants and needs. And that's a lot of times where the biggest disconnect is.
It's interesting you brought that up. I have talked to a lot of people about marketing measurements and what works and what doesn't work. And actually had somebody say, yeah, I think I'm going to do billboard ads. I think that's the best way for me to get my word out. And I was like, I don't know that much about marketing. And I know a little bit primarily from talking to you over the years, Amy. And I said, how in the world are you going to know where that lead came from if it came from a billboard ad? And it better be a phone number with only 3 different digits in the whole phone number. You're just not going to get anybody to respond. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah, you can't put a lot of text into a billboard.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'd like people to think about marketing as opportunity cost versus should I not? Should you at any time? It depends. If you're Wendy's, maybe a billboard makes sense because your population is, let's say, practically 75% of the people driving by. And if it's near your location, then there are people driving by near your location. So I'm not wasting it. When I was in corporate, we used to talk about waste. What are you wasting? For a small business, you're wasting like 99% of your dollars by doing a billboard because only 1% would ever care, even if they saw it and memorized it. So how do you reach your person the most effectively and efficiently? You don't want to spend more money than you have to. I know, believe it or not, a marketing person saying don't spend money, but I like free. I like to learn before and get the data that says, okay, I can put a LinkedIn post out there, not boost it, and I can reach 1,000 people. Okay, is that good? How much do I need to spend to get 10,000 people? Do I need 10,000 people? Or do I just need more people each day? So it's just being thoughtful about what you said, Sean. Who's your ideal target? Who are you trying to reach really specifically? And when are they even open to listening to you?
Love that idea. One of the things that I also tell my clients that salespeople have the inherent disadvantage in life that they are considered to be liars. And we all know the old joke, how do you know when a salesperson is lying? Their lips are moving, so they must be lying, right? So I tell people that's just something salespeople have to overcome. Not that our clients think that we're lying, but they may not think that we're telling them the entire truth. Or at least we are spinning the truth a certain way. And I talk to them about everything that a salesperson says and talks about in any detail should be reproduced in a marketing document, either the website, a brochure, something like that, to say, you know what, we put a lot of effort into this message. The salesperson said it, and marketing is just repeating it, maybe with more detail, maybe customized to that customer, whatever. Any thoughts about that, about the validity of the message, that if marketing and sales are working together?
You're speaking on behalf of the brand. So everything you do, it could be layers of it. There's a great research around the different types of content by phase of the funnel. So when people are just beginning to research, you want like surveys. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I headed me in this direction? And you want to tee up what that salesperson might be teeing up in a conversation. So it's not brand new information. There's data that suggests, and Sean, you've told me this, it's even more than before. It's 10 to 14 times someone has to see something before they even acknowledge that it's real. So you want the salesperson, when they get there, and we're trying to make them effective, we're trying to get a short sales cycle, we're trying to get strong close rates, not just leads. So if that's the goal, then I need to prime that person. I need them to see, oh, wait, that company's helpful, interesting. They may not even recognize it, but that's what the content, why it has to be so aligned. It doesn't have to be exact, but to your point, it has to be aligned. It has to be clear, complementary. So when that salesperson calls or sends an email or meets you in person, in the back of your head, you don't know why, but your brain has seen it. And you think, oh, okay, I might trust this person. So that's the whole point of working together, is not having some random marketing communication that doesn't make any sense and doesn't fit in the salesperson's persona, because, by the way, they can't say it if it doesn't make sense to them. It just doesn't come off person to person.
Yeah, it loses its authenticity if the messaging is misaligned. But it's interesting, and I want to call out here that a lot of B2B buyers, I bet anyone listening to this has heard some version of this statistic, is buyers engage content and research up to 70% of their sales cycle is already complete before sales is ever engaged. I've heard 60, I've heard 80. It's a lot if you're boiling this down. So I'm curious to partner onto what you just described with the messaging and the relevancy. How do you measure what is tactical and what is strategic in your content development? How are you partnering? What is a strategic message to get them aware, interested, and intent, and do the marketing funnel to where they become advocates? How much of that do you spend on tactical versus strategic marketing efforts to drive that sales funnel?
We think of communication to the customer. The strategic is our brand building, let's say, is generally higher level. We always want to be useful and relevant, and we always want to support what we call the promise, which is the thing that you do every day for your customer, and then the secret sauce, which are 3 ways that make you unique. You use your brand unique. So that's the overall strategy. We may send out more general information about how we help and what we do. So I would call that strategic or brand specific. Then as you get closer, then you can start driving people to action. And I think that's more what you mean by tactical. So how you measure those is different. The brand is you just got to stay on air. I was just talking to somebody, a client today, who bops in and out of the market. They talk, they're on, they do media for a while, then they're gone. They're wondering why their business is stopped. You got to stay on. It's not going to show up an immediate payout, but it is going to keep it as effective and efficient as possible. You got to stay out there. Free LinkedIn, you can do it. Then as you get lower in the funnel, let's say to your point on researching, you measure things like, if I threw up a download, let's say through an ad or through LinkedIn or whatever, does anyone download it? That's an indication. Do people care what we're talking about? Are they using the tools we recommend? Are they clicking? What's your engagement? If you have video, we look a lot at video rate. People don't click from videos. Don't worry about that. Generally, if you watch a video, it's whether you engage or not, and you're looking for engagement rates. We look at really specifically, what are the activities we need and want at the high brand level? Are they paying attention? Are they engaging at all? When you get down on the tactical level, it's, are they taking any action? And that could be from page to page on a website too.
Very interesting. And once again, we're going to run out of time. So I'm going to jump right to the end here. And let's talk a little bit about Amy Connor and CMO OnLoan. So tell us about your company. Tell us where you're located, where your customers are, what kind of customers you like to deal with. And most importantly, if somebody has a question, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So CMO OnLoan, and we help privately held companies build their marketing confidence and capability. We are located in Cincinnati. Most of our clients are between North Dayton and Northern Kentucky. Most of them are business to business. We often find that those organizations have been really successful with sales, and they realize in order to grow to the next level, they need some help in the marketing side. I hired my friends from corporate after I left Luxottica. A lot of those roles left the area, and I had friends available who wanted to consult with me. So we have 5 contractors that work with me, and our whole goal together is to build up a foundation based on wherever you are, get you to your next best spot. If you want to reach out, feel free to send a LinkedIn request to me. It's Amy Connor, or send me an email at amy@cmo-onloan.com.
Fantastic. Amy, it is always good to talk with you. I like to think that between marketing and sales, we close the gap on revenue goals, and us stacking hands in this format, our give to the professional community is exactly that. It's a give. So thank you for giving of your time. And for all of you out there, if you're wondering what kind of person Amy is, go to her website, cmo-onloan.com, and check out all the free resources she gives away out there. There's some great useful tools that you can use as a professional, whether you're learning or thinking about engaging marketing for your business. There's a ton of free resources out there that she can absolutely help you walk through as a means to your next growth goal. Amy, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate both episodes. And if you haven't listened to our first episode with Amy, go back and listen to last week's. There's a lot of great content and nuggets about how she serves companies and how those companies grow. Till next week, happy selling.
What a great episode, Sean, Kevin, and Amy. Today, we learned a powerful lesson about the importance of aligning sales and marketing to create a seamless customer journey. Amy shared how customers don't distinguish between sales and marketing. They simply see one company, which means sales and marketing must work together to deliver a consistent and compelling message. If your marketing efforts aren't reinforcing your sales conversations, you're missing a huge opportunity to build trust and shorten your sales cycle. And let's not forget today's significant actionable item, conducting a marketing metrics audit. If you're tracking impressions and clicks but not conversions and revenue impact, you might be measuring the wrong things. Take just 30 minutes today to evaluate your marketing data and identify at least one metric that directly ties to business growth. The sooner you start focusing on the right numbers, the faster you'll see meaningful results. If you ever need help with sales, sales management, or scaling your company's revenue, Sean and Kevin are here for you. Their contact details are in the show notes, along with a quick sales assessment to see how well your team is performing. You can also find Amy's contact information in the show notes. If your company needs help getting your marketing programs going, she is a great resource to help you. Make sure to subscribe to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales on your favorite podcast player so you never miss an episode. And if you found today's discussion valuable, share it with a colleague who could benefit from smarter sales and marketing alignment. Until next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, happy selling.